What is up, you guys? Welcome back to Kenny Tarot YouTube channel. Hopefully you guys are doing amazing. Hopefully you guys are doing well. Continue to being safe despite the regulations being lifted. But either way, you guys, if you are new here, please do us a favor and honor by subscribing and hitting those notification bells, because you never know. You never know when a post might. Actually, it's pretty routine as to when I post. However, you may never know when I might come on and do a live stream. You never know, so it's best that you get those post notifications on just to be safe. Before we get into today's topic, though, Spirit definitely gave me a new idea, and I thought it was a great idea, and it's really an opportunity for me to just show y'all some love. But each video, at least I hope it's going to be each video, I'm going to highlight a comment from one of you guys from the previous video that I post. So I love the comments. I really do. Like, even if I don't necessarily hit the heart button or whatever the case, or maybe say anything, just know that I do mostly read most of the comments that I see, unless it's from like old videos, but even then I sometimes still read it. So I'm laughing at some of the comments that I remember, but either way, I'm going to be highlighting some comments. It's going to be a comment that either made me laugh or just made me smile, or maybe just something to discuss, or whatever the case may be, something that really caught my eye. And so yeah, it's just a fun little concept I'm going to do within each video before the intro of the new video. But this week's comment of the week comes from Nadia, which I believe I've interacted with you a couple of times. I think you also made it to a couple of live streams as well. But shout out to you, Nadia. And they wrote, "This is a great topic. You spoke about asking Spirit for guidance and help. How do I do that?" Edit, you mentioned meditation and video. Okay, I will look into that. Thank you. And I love that comment. First of all, shout out to you. Thank you so much for being so supportive for Kenny Tarot YouTube channel. But to answer that, and I think this is something that a lot of people may have questions about, especially those who are very much new into this spirituality thing. But really, everyone has access. Even obviously there's psychics and things like that, other people with spiritual gifts and things like that, but everyone has access to communicating with their spirit guides and their spirit team. And the thing about it is, they're going to help you regardless. That's pretty much all they care about, is to help you. But they also have their agenda too, as far as what we agreed upon before coming to this incarnation. However, it still is important to really try to establish some type of connection with them. And obviously everyone's going to find their own way to do so. There's tarot readings, of course. If you are familiar with it, you can also do it yourself. But if not, meditation is a great way. But the one thing I have to say is that you have to be open to how spirit communicates. Because spirit does not communicate like I'm talking right now. They'll communicate through me, and the words that's being said are not actually my own. But my point is, they're not going to, they speak in a different way. They speak through symbols, numbers, images, flashes, your thoughts. Like, that's how they communicate. And a lot of times people oftentimes get communication from their spirit team, but they somehow ignore it and just really disregard it as something that just can't be it. You know what I mean? It just can't be them speaking to them. But that's what I mean. You have to be open to that. But I think meditation is absolutely one of the easiest ways to, well, maybe not easiest, but one of the more, I guess, introductory ways to communicate with them. But you really can just speak to them just like I'm speaking to you now. And it's important that you do that, because although, yeah, they're helping you, you can actually verbalize the specificity or the specific things that you want them to help you very easily. And I could just be like, yo, Spirit, can you help me feel better? Or can you help me, think more positively by removing any negative thoughts within my mind? Or and a lot of times they can also even speak through you by way of music. You can even ask them to communicate to you through that. You can have your iPod or whatever the case may be on shuffle and ask them to really speak a song that will give you a message for that day. There's so many other ways, but once again, I think what's important from this to take is Spirit really wants to engage with you. They really want you to realize that they're there, and I think the more you do that, the more you can establish a sense of trust and truly feel their support. So hopefully that helped, and hopefully I can help for anyone else. I just really love that comment, and I look forward to the next comment that we'll have for the next video. But I'm not going to hold y'all too long. Today's topic is entitled, what about you is top tier? I feel like it's been a while since I gassed you guys up, since I gave you guys an ego boost, and to be honest, it's important. It's absolutely important, because you guys may know who you are. You may gas yourself up, but I think it's also important to hear from someone else, right? So we're going to be looking into what about you is really the best, the best in the game, or one of the best in the game. This could be as far as looks, this could be as far as other aspects about who you are, and Spirit is going to enjoy making you feel good, and I am as well. So I'm looking forward to this. I'm looking forward to getting to know you guys even more, and really see what is pretty much the top tier quality about you that everyone needs to know and will recognize. Okay, so with that being said, you guys, please choose from these piles. We have pile number 1 with the Citrine, pile number 2 with the Carnelian. We also have pile number 3 with the Black Tourmaline, and pile number 4 with the clear quartz crystal. With that being said, you guys, please choose with your gut and not with your eyes, and I will catch you at your reading. What is up, pile number 1? This is for those who picked the Citrine stone. We're about to find out what is top tier, or what about you is top tier. I guess I should have changed this to what is top tier about you, but whatever. What it is. What about you is top tier? The cards that they gave us are the 8 of Swords, we also have the Page of Wands in reverse, we also have Knight of Cups in reverse. We got some Scorpionic energy. We got number 13. This is Transformation, also known as the Death card. Number 42, Perception. We also have the Keeper of Scales, or Keeper of the Scales. We also have number 42 yet again. This is Woman Holding a Coin. We also have number 10, Love. This card I really love. We have the Maiden. And this card that we'll get into later. Pile number 1. I do really like this energy, by the way. The first thing that they want to mention, there is like some sort of duality that you have. So what I'm guessing that, this topic may be something where Spirit is just going to talk about all the things that they love, or all the things that they consider to be top tier. But this still will have some type of focus. But for you, they really want to bring about a duality that you possess. I am getting, it's not, it's like, I feel like most people may even call you like immature, stubborn. Like I'm getting like a stubborn energy, but the thing about it is people may see that as a bad thing, but for you it actually isn't. And what I mean by that is that you have a very strong energy to where you don't take crap. You don't take crap. And I think it's the result of maybe a lot of things that you've gone through. I also feel like they're also speaking about one specific situation where I do feel like it's a love situation that may have even caused that, whether it was an ending or whether it was something that occurred within that last romantic encounter that left you feeling like, see, that's why I always got my guard up. See, this is why, don't get it twisted. Like they keep saying like, don't get it twisted. Like don't be fooled. Like there is something about whether you may look young or you may appear to be nice. Like I feel like there's two sides to you, but you're very quick to check someone if need be. And but I think the stubborn nature is also speaking about how, there is a tough exterior with you, and I think in tough situations that you go through in life, while one person may lie in bed crying, which is one way to cope with it, I feel like with you, it's more so like you really have the tendency to be like, yo, I'm not allowing you to get that much energy out of me. Like you're not getting any type of tears from me. You're not getting like it's nothing. Like let's move on. Like I get that type of energy. And granted, of course, it doesn't mean that you never get hurt, but this is your initial approach. And Spirit is actually commending you because this is something that even if we don't believe it, this is something that you should try to really establish. It doesn't mean to withdraw from emotions completely, but it does mean to really have a perspective in which life has lessons, life has challenges, life has obstacles. However, we're meant to learn it and apply it and move on. It's not something that we should dwell in. And I think you may understand that even if you don't necessarily, even if you don't know it, there's something about your nature that exhibits that, and that is a top tier quality. I'm also getting, but there's the duality is that it's like a stubborn, rebellious kid, but then there's another one that's very nurturing, very protective, almost very parent-like. But I do believe that's something that not everyone gets to see. Not everyone deserves to see. But certain people do know that part about you. So it's the duality. It's the almost like they're showing me like it in like a cute little cat, right? But then someone tries to pet it and then they bite it. They bite their finger, something like that. Let's begin. We have the 8 of Swords. This is very stubborn energy. I think even in the midst of troubles and struggles, like they said, obstacles, it isn't something that you allow yourself to really dwell in for so long, But I also feel like with this energy, this is really like I am who I am. Like I don't care what anyone has to say. If you like, I'm still gonna stay in my ways. Like it doesn't matter what you say, what you think, and it comes across as authentic, absolutely authentic. And I think no one that you meet could ever call you fake. No, it's impossible. It's impossible. You are you, and that's something that you will remain in. That's not something that will ever change. That's something that is, and I think, maybe certain times it could maybe be a little bit difficult, especially in ways that we need to adapt and we need to grow. But for the most part, it's really this tenacious spirit of yours that you're not going to allow anything, whether it's a romantic partner or any type of bad news or any type of anything that would normally bring people down. You're not going to let that sway you, especially when it comes to people's thoughts or opinions about you. Like, that's not, you don't have time for that. In fact, it's almost as if you are challenged with that, it is going to be a fiery type of assault that you're going to give them. This is my brat. I wouldn't say brat. Well, it is my brat card, but this is really more of a fiery type of kid, rebellious nature. This is really rebel without a cause, but once again, it's refreshing because I almost feel like we live in a society where we're taught to not be that way, but this is the very essence of who you are. And I also feel like, once again, there could have been they're showing me like a tower moment that maybe heightened this aspect about who you are. Like, I just get someone who's always on guard when it comes to like, just like, it's like I'm sorry. They keep showing me all these examples that are my point of reference that you probably won't ever get, but I'll try my best to explain it. But I do feel like with this Page of Wands, there is, like, when it comes to you are someone who absolutely will not sugarcoat what they say, will absolutely tell people how they feel. And once again, I also feel like it's a result of something that occurred in the past. They're showing like a tower moment that occurred, and I wouldn't say it created this new personality for you, because this is not new. I feel like it only emphasized it. It only became the catalyst for you to become even more. Because this is actually who you are. This is not something that you can change. Maybe there's ways, once again, that needs to be adapted for certain, certain scenarios, but there's a rebellious nature about you as well. I think this could also be because for some of you guys could have been in a very restrictive type of environment, whether it's your upbringing, but the rebellious nature is coming out a lot stronger with this one. And I have to tell you once again, I'm getting like, they're showing me Rihanna, which I almost feel like Rihanna is like the anti-pop star. And the reason why I said that is because she's not your typical pop star. Like, this is someone who will absolutely get someone together, and people will be praised for that. And to be honest, she is, I feel like oftentimes when she do get people together, it's deserved. But that's that nature that she has. She does come across like a rebel, and it's empowering. It absolutely is empowering. But I feel like some people may even find that to be like, oh, that's immature or that's unprofessional, when it's actually refreshing and it's something that Spirit would like you to keep. Just as long as it's not, it's super insulting. This is not them, Spirit, saying, yo, just go in on everybody that you see. No, that's not what we're saying. We're saying that because I almost feel like it's almost like a defensive tactic as well. Like, it's like, okay, like, we can be friends, or we can have a conversation, or nice to meet you, but watch what you say. Now we also have Knight of Cups in reverse. What's funny about this is that they're showing me like the Emperor card. So I think you got no type of love for authority, as a rebel would not have. Like, I get rule breaker, police, not a fan of. Not me either, but like any type of figure when it comes to like that is supposed to have some type of authority over you, you're not going, like, there's something within you that just feels, I don't want to say animosity, but that's what they said, but feels combative towards them, and this is not something that you like. This, once again, this could be something that has triggered from a past situation, maybe even a past life situation where you were in type of restrictive type of environment, and in this lifetime you're really supposed to embrace all those things that you are taught to keep quiet or keep a lid on. I also feel like with that type of nature, naturally you're going to be somewhat of a leader. Naturally you're going to be, if there's a career involved, it's going to be something in which you have some type of control. And oftentimes these are the people that are going to be entrepreneurs and quite successful at it as well. The Nine of Cups in reverse, I just get, it's like you're a loving person actually, and we'll get into that later. But you're a loving person, but when it comes to authority, something about authority that's like, I don't care if you are related to me, if you are a cop, don't you ever speak to me. Don't even breathe my way. Like, I'm getting that type of energy. I'm sorry, but it is what it is. We also have number 13, transformation. This is it. Something happened. But once again, it's almost as if something happened to where you had to switch to this, because this was always who you were. But I also get like someone who maybe was raised in a way in which you're taught not to act this way. Not like, for example, I'm getting like, they're bringing like celebrities in my mind, but like, once again, the anti example of what you were taught to be. Because once again, what's being taught is not necessarily all that you can be. It's really what they feel is the only way to be, you know? And you're meant to kind of shake things up just by being you. But there was a significant incident or an event that occurred in your life that really solidified this part about you and really became the dominant personality of yours. This is a death card, so this is indicating that you'll never go back to what you once were. This is change, but this is change that needed to happen. Without getting too deep here, I do feel like this was part of a karmic lesson, something that you needed to heal from, but I do feel like this is also past life related as well. For a lot of you guys with the perception card, it also started from a relationship, a former relationship. And once again, they're making me feel like for some people, you may cry because of the end of the relationship, but you, it's like, it's not to say that you're not phased, but you're absolutely it makes you stronger. Like, it's not something that you look at and be like, oh my God, I'm so sorry. You look at it and be like, oh my God, you know what? It was fun while it lasts, but on to the next. Or maybe, you know what? I need you anyways. You know, I don't need a man. This is very independent in nature as well. But you look at things differently, and it's that rebellious type of nature that allows that. But what you probably don't know is that it's actually a very higher form of perspective that we should all try to achieve. Because I do believe that when you do go through something that's quite challenging, it's your first action or your first thought maybe is to really move on. And I think it may happen in a way where you be like, you know what, F them, on to bigger and better things, you know what I mean? Like, it's something to that effect. But in essence, it's actually a very higher perspective that we as humans should achieve. This is actually like a deeper perspective as well. And maybe this is where it's coming from. Maybe it is coming from a very spiritual place, because the perception card does indicate that you could be quite deep as well. You have some sort of depth. But I also get that this is something that isn't necessarily seen from others, or maybe have not necessarily been viewed in that way by others. I just get that a lot of people just find it to be quite immature when you're actually the wisest in the room. Now we also have the Keeper of the Scales. This is it. We're about to enter the part of the reading in which this is duality. There's two sides to you. There's two sides to you that makes you whole. And they're also showing me the Queen of Pentacles. So once again, the nurturing aspect of who you are. Not everyone's going to be able to experience that. Not everyone's lucky to experience that from you. And it's because you know that not everyone deserves that. And you're right. But absolutely, you have, it's like you have a very you have a very lovable part of your personality as well. And it's more so like you're looking at them like, you know, I love you, but watch your mouth. Like, like it's. I think you have a presence about you that people can appreciate both sides to you. And I think when you do meet the right people, when you do actually connect with certain people, this is the parts of you, this is also like the Queen of Pentacles. This is the part of you in which they get to know the most. This is like Mama Bear too, Mama Bear energy. And when I say Mama Bear, it's really mama of any type of species, because I don't know if you guys know this. I used to watch National Geographic. It's something about the mothers of the species. They will even kill for their loved ones. You know what I mean? There's something about that. I don't see that with the father species of the animal kingdom, but I do see that with the lionesses. I do see that. I see that with the mama birds. And I absolutely see that with the mama bears. And when I say mama, it doesn't matter it doesn't matter what gender. Y'all already know. I don't gotta explain that. It's just the energy. There's actually an emotional quality that you also have. There's a lovable part of you that, once again, on the surface, yes, you're going to give people, maybe at first glance or at the first meeting, that rebel type of energy, that fiery type of energy, that argumentative energy if they come at you. But for those who do make it past that test, they'll get the nurturing, they'll get the protection, they'll get the, you know, have you eaten? Are you okay? Like, do you need me to do anything for you? Like, they'll get that side. Because in essence, you actually do embody unconditional love for those that you love. That's the key word, for those that you love. It's not for everyone. It's not for sale. It's priceless. And if I choose you, then I will give it to you if you're worthy. But no, I do feel like with you guys, but this is something that's kept under wraps. It's kept under wraps with the love card here. It's kept under wraps. Not everyone has access to your love. And this could also indicate, once again, there was something in the past that made you be a little bit more protective of the heart of yours. But it's actually quite a big heart that you have. The Maiden. This card is actually quite ironic in your case because this card is really indicating for, in normal cases, that you are someone who could be waiting for a knight in shining armor to come through. But with you, I feel like you are someone who really believes that I should be my own knight in shining armor. There's an independent nature that comes with you. And once again, Spirit is saying for you to not change, because there's actually someone coming through. Damn, sorry for these airplanes, y'all. Sorry for these airplanes. They annoy the hell out of me. But I digress. Yeah, Spirit is saying that they absolutely do not want you to change, because there is someone coming through already who's going to be a romantic partner of yours that will love all parts of you, all of who you are. Guess what? I'm nosy, so I'm going to see who this person is. I sure am. Who is this person? Lover's card. This is going to be a faded meeting. Oh, it's like they're quite enamored with you, and I don't think you even have to try. You just be yourself. This is someone who's just quite fascinated with you. This is someone who also this is someone who's like very, they go by the book, they go by, there's someone who's maybe has followed everything that was taught to them. They've done everything that they were kind of told to do. Like that type of person. It doesn't mean that they're not unique or anything like that, anything special, but I think with you, it's very refreshing. And they kind of always want to be around you because it's going to be inspiring to them as well. They're very a stable type of person. They're very like grounded, while you are kind of like you're, you don't really have much constraint. This person has a lot of it. And I think with you, they're going to find somewhat of a balance. But they're completely enamored with you. Let's continue. We have the last card of the reading. First of all, I really like this reading. Like I said, it's an energy that is very unapologetic and it's very authentic. But once again, Spirit would also like to reiterate that it's not something that you need to change. Even if you hear people say, oh no, you're too immature, or any type of negative comments, it's to be ignored, which I'm sure you're already doing. Because they're also acknowledged that you also have a balance. If it was maybe just that fiery energy, maybe they'll be telling you something different. But it's because you already have established some type of balance in which you still operate on the frequency of love. But let's get into this last card. We have Old Woman. Look at that. I think there's wisdom, and I think there is a dichotomy as well. Maybe some of you guys are quite young. Maybe you're the youngest of your siblings or family, or maybe you're the youngest of your social group, but you're actually quite the wisest. And I think that's something that kind of slips under the radar because this part of you is the loudest, and they don't really get to see, the more nurturing part of you. But it's who you are, and there's a lot to be learned in just your very being. And I think one of the lessons is that you can truly be. There's just other ways There's other ways. There's other definitions of what makes a good person. There's other definition of what makes them a good citizen or upstanding citizen. There's other ways to show that you can be a loving person, someone who spreads love. There's other ways. You know what I mean? I don't have to be a saint. I don't have to be Mother Teresa. I don't have to be Gandhi. There's other ways. And you're the example of that. There's other ways to spread the news of love, which is, sorry for the airplane yet again, but there's other ways to spread the news of love, which is what the universe ultimately wants from all of us. So pile number 1, thank you so much for joining us. Thanks so much for the support. Thanks so much for even being here. I really appreciate your energy. If you feel so inclined, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. But other than that, I will catch you guys next time. Bye. What is up, pile number 2? This is for those that pick the Carnelian stone. We're about to find out what about you is top tier. The cards that they gave us are the 3 of Cups, the 3 of Wands in reverse, and check this out, the 3 of Pentacles. Yes, 333. Now, I'm not a numerologist, but I do know, I have researched certain numbers, certain series of numbers, and 333 is one of them. So we'll definitely get into that. But I thought that was interesting. We also have number 5. This is the 5 of Pentacles, financial and material changes. The High Priestess. Sacred Union. We also have Deceit in reverse. We also have number 8. This is Vision. That's beautiful. And we also have the Key. And this card that we'll get into later. This group right here, highly, highly advanced spiritual beings here. I'm sure you've incarnated with some type of gift, psychic gift, whether it's clairvoyance, clairaudience, whatever it is, you name it, mediumship even. I'm sure that's happened. I'm sure that's what happened, because why wouldn't it? This is absolutely someone who understands, and not only understands, but applies these spiritual concepts that make for a better life, really make for a better experience here. Just very joyous energy here, very optimistic energy here. And it doesn't mean, it's also talking about in reference to, because this is the key, or this is not the key, but well, it is a key, just like this card says. But this is one of the lessons that a lot of us fail to grasp, is even in the midst, is being optimistic and happy, not only during those times in which everything's going good, but also during where you feel like not everything is going good. You know what I mean? Still maintaining that belief and faith that things will eventually, get better. This is the deep knowing that whatever it is that I envision will come to be. And because of that assurance, doesn't mean that you never get sad or things like that, but because of that assurance, the part about you that's really top tier is your energy is something that really should be cherished, and it's very precious. It's very bright. It's a sort of light that really draws people in. I think you are someone who, there could be some type of popularity that you have amongst friend group. I think if there's a party going on, it doesn't mean that the party can't happen without you, but it's like the party ain't really a party unless you're there. You know what I mean? Like, you have that type of energy, and I think a lot of people around you can agree. There's something about you. Some people may be like, oh, you got that je ne sais quoi, or you got that certain something, you got that certain oomph, that spark. I think sometimes what you possess is undescribable. But in essence, it really is. They're showing me the solar plexus, but it's really that life force energy, just this vibrant energy about life and living, which is something that we should all have. Once again, this does not mean that you don't have those days in which you're sad. But when it comes to truly living this experience and with still believing that that things will be better, things will always get better, not everyone can do that. And once again, I'm also getting a hybrid with you. When I say hybrid, it's something that I always like to promote, because I get the sense you guys are very spiritual. You guys could be part of my family, probably doing what I'm doing. But what I mean by hybrid is the 5D and the 3D. A lot of times people think that they have to be separate. This is not church and state, no. This is not one of those cases, like, which is why you have a lot of people. I'm using this as an example. You don't have to be a tarot reader, but I'm using this as an example, which is why you have a lot of people who sometimes shun tarot readers for putting a fee or a rate on their services. And I'm just like, why? Why is that something that's like, like people gasp at that, like, no. Because psychologists, counselors, they still get paid. And essentially this is what's happening as well when tarot readers we're not diagnosing you, but this is essentially the same line of work. It's just that the messages are coming from a higher place. But you understand the concept that both worlds can actually work really well together. I see for you guys a lot of relationships, a lot of connections will be made with you. You'll be encountering a lot of people in this life. And I almost feel like a lot of people have contracted before coming in to meet with you, to develop some type of bond with you. And it could be because of their growth or whatever, certain era that they're currently in by the time you guys meet. But I get a very sociable person, and it's supposed to be that way because you're going to be encountering a lot of people who need your light. Once again, they keep going back to, if you are doing like spiritual work, absolutely be about your money, be about your bag. Absolutely. It doesn't mean that should be your primary focus, but what I mean is that absolutely charge for whatever you feel is comfortable for you when it comes to what the services that you're providing or what it is that you are selling. Because once again, this is a concept that Spirit really wants to put it through people's heads. That spiritual work could also be something that you make a living off of as well. But for some reason, I see a common narrative that people tend to promote, and it's oh my God. See, I even saw this one comment, not from in my YouTube, but it was another comment, and I think one of the commenters were criticizing the reader for charging services, such as a personal readings. And I just thought, I was kind of floored. I'm like, you must be new here. And by new here, I mean, you must be new to just the world. Like, this is how, like, where have you been? But overall, it's the energy that you possess. It's very otherworldly, and people can't help but be enamored or be want to be around you in your life. Let's begin. We have the Three of Cups. That was a long ass intro. I do apologize, but we have the Three of Cups. What's interesting about this, I kind of see you as the person in the middle, but it's more so, once again, it's joyous celebration. You are always in a celebratory type of mood. I think when it comes to having fun, maybe partying, maybe even clubbing, I think you are one of the best at it. When it comes to it's like, even if the event isn't about you, like for example, if it's a wedding, for some way you tend to get the audience attention. I get also, like, when you go to an event or something like that, you always happen to have a gaggle of people around you interested in hearing what you have to say, interested in hearing what you have to, like, what thought that you have, or maybe you're just someone who just could easily entertain people. But I do get someone who thrives in social settings, and I think that's the quality here that you're very top tier about. And you would have to. And you know why? Because once again, you are a spiritual being, and that's something that is quite. I don't think that you're shy about that. I think you're well aware of that, and it shines through. Because we are social beings. We are beings who are supposed to operate on the frequency of love, and you do that in such a beautiful way. Now we also have the Three of Wands in reverse. So, and I'm going to also pick this card up too. We're also going to pick up the Three of Pentacles. I have to tell you, you're going to go through a lot of relationships, a lot of connections, whether it's friendships or whether it's otherwise, and not all of them will make it to the end. And I think you already know that. But that's not the point. The point is not to say, oh my God, if it doesn't last, and I mean, it doesn't mean anything. No, it's incorrect, but you already knew that. I already know you do. But it's to say that each connection has their purpose. And when those purposes are fulfilled, the connection sometimes will end, whether it's abruptly or just gradually. But you'll feel it when you know it's time to move on. And that's okay. Because like I said, you have a lot of people who you're going to come in contact with in this life. And with the Three of Wands, it also indicates that, in reverse, you have a lot of manifestations that kind of feels like it's been delayed, hasn't it? But the thing is, this is also confirmation. This is what we're going to get to with the 333. I do feel like whatever it is that you're going to be achieving in life, especially when it comes to career, there's a big emphasis in community. There's a big emphasis in the collective. There's a big emphasis in collaboration as well. Also, this is also confirmation that your manifestation have been heard and they have already been answered. And I think you know very well that just because you don't see them in the physical does not mean they're not coming, because they are incoming. They are coming. But yeah, it's been some delays. But you have to understand, like, I do feel like your manifestation are kind of, there's other factors that also play a part. So it's not necessarily what you're doing wrong. It has nothing to do with that. But there's other factors playing a part. And a lot of times it's because of divine timing. But the 333 is absolutely telling you that this is your guardian angels. This is also ascended masters that you have on your spirit team. These are like higher level spiritual beings that you have on your team as well, who who are working with you. You guys are co-creating a life that you see fit. A lot of soulmates that you're going to be meeting. I believe in the concept of multiple soulmates. There's going to be a lot of people that you connect with on a deeper level in this life. Of course, a lot of those will be, or at least one of those will be a major relationship. Because this is what you're meant to do. You're meant to connect. You're like a connector. You're like a mediator. You are the key to unity when it comes to people. And I feel as though that when it comes to your career, that's going to be a major theme. Community, collaboration, bringing people together, something of that nature. And that's something that you're going to be quite natural at. And once again, you have a team of very high level spiritual leaders and ascended masters, and you're so taken care of. You are more than equipped and ready to take on whatever is going to be asked of you when it comes to your purpose and your mission here. Okay? But overall, very fun, very bright, very optimistic person, and just the energy that everyone loves to be around. We also have number 5. This is the 5 of Pentacles. There's going to be a very significant career opportunity that's going to be presented to you. I also feel like for some of you guys feel like all the things that I've tried to do, maybe attempted in the past, maybe some things that didn't necessarily go as planned or go as I wanted. They do want to remind you that those were false starts, but they weren't waste of time. In fact, those were maybe some, you've gained a lot of things. You gained a lot of knowledge, you gained a lot of skills that will ultimately make you fit for the next thing that's coming, which I feel is going to be a big major career. It's going to really establish some sort of stable income, because despite the fact that maybe your bank account has not necessarily been at the most abundant, your energy is still abundant. And I think that's amazing, because not everyone can do that. But Spirit is almost saying that it's coming time to where it's going to match your bank account. But yeah, there is going to be a very significant career, either opportunity or either some type of transformation that occurs that now makes you once maybe not as financially stable to now you are financially stable. That type of change, night and day. And for some of you guys, I do feel like it's going to be in collaborating with many type of people of maybe different backgrounds as well, or maybe just connecting with different types of people. You are meant to be around. I kind of feel like your purpose is now being highlighted here, is that you are kind of meant to, engage with people, be sociable. You may find that you find it natural to communicate with strangers. It doesn't mean that you sometimes sometimes you may need to retreat and recover and get your battery charged and then come back to the social settings. But the point is, I get the sense that you are someone who's quite an expert when it comes to communicating, especially when it comes to people and social events, and people feel really connected to you. I also see this is someone who could really have an amazing career as something on social media, such as YouTube, where your face is there and people are getting to know you in some way, because I feel like a lot of people are going to relate to you somehow or just really just like you, honestly. High Priestess. Hey guys, you're a part of my family. Now, I don't necessarily say that for just any time this card pops up, but they're also showing me other things that give me the confirmation that you guys are fully aware of your spiritual essence and your connection to the divine and your spirit team. I think that's something that's quite important to you. It's something that shows as well. Quite psychic here, I get. And once again, I also get someone who visualizes what it is that they want to bring into their life. And this is confirmation once again that it's coming. It absolutely is coming. They're also saying they speak to you through your thoughts a lot. Sometimes there'll be like a flash of whether it's an image or just a flash of a passing thought, or sometimes they will even also dreams. Yeah. And once again, I feel like the people who are also on your team are quite good speakers, public speaking, know how to really encourage a crowd or encourage an audience, or really just really captivate an audience. Number 2. I'm scared. This is like big energy. Shout out to Lotto. Also, shout out to Tinashe, who also has an album called 333. Anyways, we also have the Sacred Union. Partnerships. Yes, this tend to also speaks about romantic partnerships, but I also feel like it's just speaking about the connections that you're going to have in this lifetime. You're going to meet a lot of people. You're going to meet, and once again, I feel it's going to be soulmates that you're going to be meeting. And once again, people are going to feel very connected to you. It's very easy for people to, I almost get like, if people don't like you, it's a problem with them, not with you. You know what I mean? Like, it would be unbelievable if I heard someone say, "Oh, I don't like pile number 2." I'd be like, I'll be looking at them crazy, like, okay, so what's your problem then? Because ain't no way you can not like pile number 2. Like, it just doesn't make sense. But once again, this does indicate that you will find like-minded individuals, and I think that's something that'll be quite a reoccurring theme in this life of yours. Like-minded individuals, people that you connect with, and of course, this does mean a significant relationships that you're going to experience as well. So, yeah. I think if any time in this life you are ever lonely, it's going to be because maybe you decided to become a recluse because you need some moments to recharge and things like that. But I feel like there's always going to be somebody who you can call somebody you can talk to, and they'll appreciate that. They want to connect with you in that way. We have Deceit in reverse. This is really referring to your own mind's thought. You really have mastered the art of negating any type of negative thoughts that sometimes will try to creep in our mind, because you have a very heightened bond with spirit, and I think it's because of that why they keep reaffirming that your manifestations are coming, because I don't necessarily feel like there's much more spiritual lessons for you to learn, really. I mean, obviously I don't want to make you feel like you are just too advanced to be taught something, but I just feel like you've absolutely, they're proud is what I'm trying to convey here. They're proud. And it's, you know, when it comes to negativity, when it comes to anything that could make you believe that the future that you envision is not coming true, you know how to reflect it, you know how to negate it, eliminate it, because that spiritual side of you is incredibly powerful. That faith in you is incredibly powerful. We have number 8, vision, Aphrodite. They're talking about if anything that has ever, because of you, you're going to be really meeting a lot of people, right? Encountering a lot of people, having a lot of connections. And I think you are advanced to know that all these connections, whatever it's lost, whatever that you don't have anymore, whatever it ended, you realize it needed to end. And you also realize that whatever, like you say, whatever job that I've lost, whatever other financial situation that I've had once and now is gone, you have a strong understanding in knowing that whatever is lost will be regained in a better version even. This also includes friends as well. Like they say, if you hadn't fallen out, you're not someone who's really, it's almost like, I mean, I don't want to make your head go enormous, but I will say that I feel like if there's ever a falling out, you don't sweat it because you know that whatever it is, you are the one that wants a friendship with me, not the other way around, really. I mean, I like having a friendship with you, but to be honest, your desire for this friendship is a lot stronger. Your desire to be my friend is a lot more stronger than my desire to be your friend. And I feel like that's going to be the case for a lot of the case for you. Hopefully that didn't sound too condescending, but because that's what happens sometimes when you do have a very elevated way of seeing things, a very elevated way of believing and moving. The key. This says locked doors can now be opened. This was referring to your manifestation once again. They're confirming. They're acknowledging that a lot of the manifestation that you've been working on, that you've already asked for, that you've been co-creating with them, have yet to appear in this life of yours, but they're here to confirm to you that they are on their way. This is also indicating that you are kind of the embodiment of the key. You are the key to a lot of people's destiny, a lot of people's growth, which is why you're going to be meeting a lot of people, because a lot of them, like for example, I don't necessarily consider this person a best friend anymore, but I would say that this person is a friend, and I still have love for them. There's no falling out or anything. It's just that our paths are diverge. You know what I mean? But I look back at that friendship knowing why we became friends during the times that we became friends. This person was going through a breakup, a very severe breakup. This person was always in the house and never came out. We met while on the night that he finally decided to come out with his sibling, and we connected, we bonded, and from that point on, we hung out almost every damn day, and I slowly saw this person recovering from that past breakup to the point where this person started talking about it. Maybe they still thought about it every now and then, but it wasn't to the point where they used to cry to me about him all the time. Used to, think about them like they used to be, sometimes even not aware of what's going on in the present because they're too worried about what in the past. And I would like to think that our friendship at the very least healed them from that. You know what I mean? So that's what I mean, is that I think you hold or you are the embodiment of the key for a lot of people's destiny or just growth in their own spiritual development. Number 2. All right, the last card. We have chain events that will affect your life. This is really talking about the connections. Once again, you're going to be, there's a lot of people who are going to feel drawn to. There's a lot of people who are almost spiritually connected to you as well. And I think this also further reiterates what we already just stated with the key card, is that you will kind of be the catalyst to the progression of a lot of people's lives. So I know that sounds pretty big of a responsibility, but it's not meant to be seen in a way where it's burdensome. This is just who you are. And I'm sure you have your own purpose and your own, your spirit team has their own agenda for you as well. But this is why you're top tier. You're essential to a lot of people's life, especially once again when it comes to whether it's bringing people together. And once again, they keep bringing me to the idea of like once you come to the party, then we know it was lit. You know what I mean? Like, it doesn't mean that the party can't happen without you. It doesn't mean that people can't have a good time without you. But it's almost as if the next day people say, okay, how did the party go? And you'd be like, did pile number 2 go? Okay, then I know it was lit then. Like, it's that type of presence. But you have to remember, once again, I do feel like your purpose has a lot to do with bringing people together. And I think that could also be indicating that this is also unity that I feel. And I think I just noticed, but I think that is actually in the background of the chain is a picture of the globe or of Earth, which further reiterates the message that I'm about to say. I think part of your purpose is going to have a huge impact on people, on the world. And I do believe your career could also be tied into that as well. Pile number 2, I'm absolutely honored. This is my favorite pile. Keep doing you. Keep being you. Your very being is very important, and it's absolutely necessary. So, thank you. Thank you for joining me. And if you feel so inclined, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. But other than that, I'll catch you guys next time. Bye. What is up, pile number 3? This is for those who picked the Black Tourmaline stone. We're about to find out what about you is top tier. So the cards that they gave us, the Empress. This is top tier in itself, this card alone. We also have the High Priestess in reverse. And all 3 are major arcana. It's the Hermit. We also have number 8, Positive Movement Forward. This is actually the 8 of Pentacles, but for some reason it makes me think of the 8 of Wands. But this is the 8 of Pentacles. We also have number 35, Restriction. We also have number 41, Cosmos. We have 7 Chakra, Archangel Uriel. I love how this card looks with the background. Sorry. We also have number 32. This is self-worth. We also have the Knight. And this card that we'll get into later. Wow, so pile number 3. It was like a journey to get to this point though. It was a journey to get to this point to where you truly, truly love yourself enough. You really view yourself on such a high level. It was a journey to get to this point, and some of you guys may not be at this point yet, but this is literally the energy that you are becoming into. You guys also have to remember that a lot of times in those cases where we are trying to develop in a certain type of person, it's really your higher self. A lot of you guys are becoming more aligned to who you are, in essence, when it comes to your spiritual beings, such as your higher self. And this is what's happening. A lot of you guys maybe have grown up believing that you were maybe not as beautiful as you are, not as attractive as you are, when your higher self is a literal goddess. You know what I mean? A goddess in which exudes beauty, exudes love, exudes confidence. So a lot of you guys are either have already achieved this or are on the way to becoming this. For the most part, this is physical beauty. For the most part, this is physical beauty. And I also feel like for a lot of you guys, they want to bring attention to your speech. You guys actually have the power of speech, in which what you say will actually absolutely come true. So maybe it's recently, or maybe it's just not too long ago, or maybe it was a while ago, but you discovered that when you say things such as affirmations, that they will have a significant impact on your reality. So if I look in that mirror, this is you guys, if I look into that mirror and say, yo, I'm the shit, I look good, I'm attractive, because you made that statement, it's true. In essence, everyone has this ability to some extent, but I'm getting that yours is kind of up here, higher than normal. So remember that. Let's begin. The Empress. How can you get any more top tier than this? How? Now, what I'm also saying is that there's a huge emphasis on like the way your body looks. I get that this is feeling like people who are now finally coming into the beauty of their body, no matter, flaws, curves, everything about you is beautiful. And this is what you're beginning to understand. This is what you have understood. And it's resonating, and everyone is recognizing it. This is confidence. I also get, for a lot of you guys, this came from a place in which maybe once upon a time, I could have never posed nude. I could have never done that because I never actually thought that it would be beautiful, but it actually is. And now you guys do it. And I see like a tasteful, I'm not talking about like porn, I'm not talking about that, I'm not talking about OnlyFans. And it's no shade to that, but it's just, I'm really getting like someone who, like, it's almost artistic. Like, you posing nude, or you showing your body, whether it's on Instagram, in a very tasteful, artistic way. It's a statement. It's a statement saying like, yo, I love how I look. I'm beautiful. I'm all these other great qualities. Like, I'm fine. And it's true. Because you say it is. And because of that, everyone else believes it. You could say it's perspective, but it really, in your case, it's just facts. It's also facts. And it was just more, and the more you see it that way, it just becomes more and more pronounced. Yeah, there's something with the naked body. Like, this is one of the few Empress cards that I have that actually depicts a very voluptuous woman in nude. But it's beautiful. It's art. It's tasteful. And on top of that, the expression on the figure face exudes confidence. This is someone who knows their worth, who knows their value, who knows what they bring to the table. And I also feel like for some of you guys, it's something, and also like pregnancy photo shoots, this is also, Empress is usually sometimes depicted as pregnant, because Empress could also symbolize fertility, and things like that. But this, once again, I'm getting like pregnancy photo shoots because it's beautiful. This is the epitome of femininity. And it's something that you were made to really show and embrace in some way. I get that you could have definitely had a upbringing, or maybe it's just society has placed it upon you to really have, once upon a time, believe that you're supposed to be a little bit more modest, a little bit more, less confident, or not obviously confident. And your higher self is like, absolutely not. That is not who we are. We're not doing that again. Possibly referring to like past life situations, but they're making me feel okay. We'll continue. We also have the High Priestess in reverse. This absolutely happened after it feels like there was something that triggered this. And this could be like an upbringing. I see like strict parents, religious parents. And I say religious and spirituality, they are alike, but they're not, they're totally different. And I always make it my business to make that distinction. Okay? But I'm getting like religious parents who, like, I'm sorry if you, this message that they're about to make me say is really directed towards women, but I'm sure it could be applied to anyone. But I'm getting more so like, those religious parents who for some reason choose to be a lot more restrictive on their daughters rather than their sons. And I'm just like, it's such a double standard, because I see it all the time. And what they don't realize, it does the exact opposite of what you think, what they think it's doing. Like, that's gonna make someone be actually more rebellious and really want to discover what is life like outside of this religious, cage, pretty much. But I see for a lot of you guys, there was a time in which you weren't as connected to this higher self of yours. You weren't connected, and it's because I feel it's because a lot of things that happen in this world, whether it's with society making you feel some type of way, or whether it's your upbringing, But I see that for a lot of you guys, this confidence, this type of view of yourself will be offensive to a lot of people. But that's not your problem. But it will. But the thing is, it's not necessarily what it actually is showing. Is it tells a lot more about them than it does about you. That these are people who have yet to really overcome their own struggles when it comes to self-love and self-worth, and they're just projecting it on you. But I also feel like there was a time in which you probably were like that as well, or maybe you weren't necessarily you weren't necessarily as like you didn't necessarily embrace that part of you that was trying to emerge. Instead, you probably just try to keep a lid on it. I'm also getting people who, they're also saying that it's okay for you to feel empowered when it comes to your sexuality. It's okay to feel these things. Like for some reason society has made it taboo to be like this. But Spirit is over here like, no. You're going to be the one of the examples that I can truly be who I am. I also get that this is also the removal of any inhibitions and really just following what you're being guided to do. And the reason why it's in reverse is because it's speaking about maybe there was a time in which, I'm getting like people, but it could be people, it could be, once again, just society or just family who are constantly saying things to make you feel lower. But you have mastered or will master the art of deflecting, the art of because I see you, it's like you're on top of the hill. This is what they're showing me. You're on top of the hill, and everybody else who are trying to come at you are at the bottom. Granted, it's not to say that you're going to be, it's not to be condescending, but what it is that you're actually the wise one here. You're actually the right one here, is what they're saying. That's the level. Like, they think they're right, but they're actually not. But as a human, sometimes, yeah, those words, those comments could get into our own mind and sometimes block what Spirit is really trying to allow us to do. You also have the Hermit card here. These two cards right here these are my spiritualists. So I'm not sure if you're actually doing this and as something for work or something that you're doing, but this is indicating that there is a element of who you are that is very spiritual. And I think you actually have a lot to teach. And I think it may not necessarily be like, okay, lesson number 1, be who you are. Like, no, it's more so like, I think you're very being, just you being you, and this person that's emerging, or this person that you've become, is a teachable lesson. Also, I'm also getting that there could have been a time in your life in which you didn't feel as confident, and that has been something that has made you feel like you needed to withdraw from society or withdraw from social gatherings or from people. And you know damn well you're not supposed to be doing that. Not all of this amazingness, absolutely not. Your higher self will not allow you to not shine. You're supposed to shine. But once again, I do get there's a deeper explanation as to what is happening here that most people will miss. And it has to do with you reconnecting to your higher self and you being exactly who you're meant to be. But also, in essence, what's happening here is spiritual. The very act of embracing, such as things like that are meant to be taboo, like sexuality, embracing that, freeing yourself of any inhibitions or judgment, like not caring about judgment, that in itself is spiritual. And there's something that a lot of people can learn from this. Learn something from this, just kidding. But yeah, you are actually the teacher here, not the other way around. Like, people may think that, oh my God, you need to listen to life. Like, parents could also be trying to tell you guys to be a certain way or act a certain way, when you really should be schooling them. And we also have this is the Eight of Pentacles. And once again, it reminds me of the Eight of Wands. So once again, I have to really reiterate, you guys have the power of speech. I think it's your voice, and it's the what you're saying that is going to have an immediate effect on your reality and who you are. So it could be sometimes a double-edged sword, especially if you say things that, like, I hate myself, or things like that are very low vibrational, because like I said, it could also take effect. But this is a power that you have that you can absolutely use to your advantage. This is the top tier quality about you that we're also referring to. But Eight of Pentacles. There's a business here. There's a business here. Something about, but it has to do with confidence. It has to do with I think the easiest route to go is probably social media or something like that, but there's a business here. There's money to be made here in some way, shape, or form. And this in itself, once again, is spiritual, because you are embracing this part about you unapologetically. You don't care what anybody has to say, because you know what's true. And once again, I feel like this is something that will also be incorporated in your career in some way, shape, or form, or a business of sorts. Because you actually have a business, you have a great business mind. And you have a high aptitude for that type of, there's spirit is kind of challenging you to find some way to create this or make this into some type of business, because they're saying that you have the mind for that. You have the leadership for that. They're showing me the King of Swords when they say that. And you have the speech. You have the communication. You have the power of communication as well. Powerful stuff. Okay, so now we also have number 35, restriction. There is going to be a major event in your life. Maybe it has already happened. Maybe it's happening as we speak. But there's going to be a major event in your life that is going to challenge you, and when it comes to freeing yourself, so you can finally become the Empress. And for a lot of you guys, it's going to be upbringing. For a lot of you guys, it's just going to be society. You're going to find that although there's going to be a lot of people who may say some negative things, there's going to be a lot more people who are going to support you. But once again, it's not really about that. It's really about, what do you see yourself? What do you define as the truth? But I see you guys there's going to be a moment where you free yourself in some way, shape, or form in this life. And that's absolutely a part of your story, a part of your journey here. And it will happen if it hasn't happened already in some way, shape, or form. Some of you guys, this could even be a relationship, a romantic relationship that felt a little bit more like it was hindering you, burdening you, not allowing you to truly be who you are. So we also got the cosmos. Once again, this is I think you're actually a lot more deep. Maybe, I don't really get the sense that you guys are spiritual, like obviously spiritual, but I get you guys are actually deep and could also practice in some way, shape, or form. And I think, once again, what you're doing and how you're choosing to live this new life of yours is in essence spiritual. But the cosmos here is referring to creativity. And this is talking about co-creation. And I don't know if you noticed, but the figure here, which is like a moon, there is something coming out of this person's mouth, but in this case I'm referring to it as magic, but this is like speech as well. And this is essentially what you have the ability to do. I'm telling you, I think you've already been doing this in some way, shape, or form, but mirror manifestation will work absolutely wonders for you. Because look in the mirror, be like, yo, I'm the shit, I look good. All those things, even if it sounds too cocky, don't matter. Because it will take effect in your reality. It will be the truth because you say it is. Once again, there is going to be, you have actually a very deep relationship with spirit, even if you don't necessarily know it. And it's because they are actually helping you with this ability of yours. There's actually something, there's going to be a relationship as well that's coming through. And maybe that's something that you have been, that you've asked for of the universe, but there is one coming. And it is going to be one where you're going to be very happy in. They're showing me the Four of Wands image, very happy in. And the reason why you're going to be happy is because this is going to be a person who is going to love you probably just as much as you love yourself. They're using those words specifically because there's something about you developing a very heightened love for yourself. That is one of the main goals here as well. But because of that, it's going to be also reflected in the relationship that you have, especially this partner. This partner is really going to love you just as much as you love yourself, if not more. But the point is, the metric to measure their love for you is going to be based on how much you love yourself, if that makes sense. So that's why it's very important. They're bringing me my attention to, I don't know if you guys know this artist named Chloe Bailey. She's a part of a sister duo named Chloe and Halle with her sister, who I really do love. I really enjoy their music. But Chloe Bailey is kind of doing like a solo thing right now. And she has this song now called like Treat Me. It's called Treat Me. And it's really speaking about treat me like I treat me. That's the lyric. And when I heard that lyric, it struck to me because I'm like, that's a bar. That's that in itself is very spiritual as well, because that's essentially what we should all be trying to achieve. Is that's why they say we can't, a healthy relationship won't ever exist unless you have developed a love for yourself or an appreciation for yourself or you have defined your self-worth for oneself. So they're really using that as an example to really refer to this relationship that's coming through, that you'll be experiencing in this life. So remember that once again. The Empress is who you are. And it's your job to remember that and not allow anyone else to tell you different. And that goes for anyone. Empress is obviously the embodiment of divine femininity, but this everyone could attempt to be more like the Empress. Okay. Now we also have number 41. This is Archangel Uriel's 7th chakra in reverse. This is actually equivalent to the High Priestess in reverse. Yeah, it's been a long time coming. And some of you guys, it still is a journey to get to the Empress mode. But the 7th chakra, Archangel Uriel in reverse. Archangel Uriel is good if you need to remove, to clear out negative thoughts and really allow yourself to be open to receiving divine messages, to really help establish a more stronger connection with the divine. So what that tells me with you guys, in your case, is that there's been a while where that part of you was blocked because other people were saying, oh no, you can't do this, you can't be like this, you have to be like this, you have to be like that, you have to do this. But Spirit was trying to tell you, no you don't, no you don't, no you don't, no you don't, you can actually be this. So for a lot of you guys, it's been a while before that became true for you, before you realized that. Like I could be, someone who's very comfortable and someone who's comfortable with sexuality, comfortable with their body. I could be that person, and I could do that out loud. They keep bringing me celebrity in mind. Like I don't know if you guys know Lizzo, someone who at least it appears to be very confident in their bodies, in her body. And unapologetically, and we love to see that. So once again, it's that card. It's referencing to a time, and maybe some of you guys are currently going through this time where that divine knowledge that you can actually be the Empress, that you are the Empress, was blocked. For a lot of you guys, this is something that you've already conquered. And a lot of you guys, I have confidence that you guys will conquer and truly embody the Empress. Self-worth. Number 32. This is also Empress energy. It's going to be like this. Your reality will absolutely reflect your perspective about yourself. So how you view yourself is how everyone else is going to view you. And once again, I get the sense that it's what you're telling yourself, what you're saying out loud especially, it will become fact if it isn't already. But how you view yourself is how everybody else will view you. And when I say everybody, I mean the majority. Because of course there's going to be haters, of course there's going to be people who are jealous that they can't necessarily ascend to the level that you are ascending to. I'm talking about the majority. Yep. So remember that. This is self-worth. Once again, they keep making me feel like it's been such a long time coming to get to this point. And although they're proud of you, a lot of you guys still have some ways to go before you truly embody this. But once again, proud of you. proud of you. And they know that this is not, sometimes there's been times where it's not the easiest, especially when you're feeling drawn to really be the person that you feel you're supposed to be, and yet there's other people around you or there's society that's trying to prevent that. But you can't listen to them. There's something else you're supposed to be listening to. Someone higher, as in your higher self, your spirit team. The next card that we have is the Knight. Triumph over adversity. Yeah. Because of your energy, because of this, it will be almost a knee-jerk reaction for people to automatically just, like, what do you, like, really just try to oppose it. And you have to understand that that opposition is really coming from a place of, why does this person get to, embrace this part about them? Like, why do I have to follow the rules of society and not this person, and they get to thrive and be successful at it? You know what I mean? Like, it's coming from that type of place. And I feel like this is something, whether it's big or small, you've been dealing with throughout your life. And it's meant to trigger you. It's meant to initiate this type of development in which you start not giving up and start really being like, you know what? I know who I am, and I embrace every part of who I am. And if you like it, amazing. If you don't, doesn't matter. So you will absolutely have to have some type of thick skin, which I feel like a lot of you guys will naturally develop, because Spirit is showing me that a lot of you guys will be you have gone through some things in which that was tested. You had to develop some tough skin. Speaking of which, I think that's the reason why they also brought up Chloe Bailey, because a lot of people tend to criticize her because she's an adult. A lot of people forget that, but she's someone who obviously exudes sexuality and exudes confidence, and is not going to hide for anyone. And she's doing an amazing job. That's Empress energy right there. So remember that's pretty much what this conversation is about. Truly embodying who you're meant to be, and who you're meant to be is someone who really embraces everything about them, especially their physical beauty. The last card that we have. Perch, bird perch, waiting for news, package, or letter. So they're actually there is something coming through. I do feel like there could be like an opportunity that's presented to you. Once again, it has to do with your beauty, it has to do with your confidence, it has to do with the type of energy that you possess. It has to do with that. There needs to be, especially if you are a woman, there needs to be more people in the limelight or in the public eye with this type of energy, so that you could be somewhat of an influence. Because a lot of people may not see it, but this is actually a very positive influence. They're also saying better days are ahead, better days are coming, better days are happening. Like, some of you guys are still dealing with a lot of backlash, but once again, better days are happening. There's going to be people who are going to truly embrace you. There's going to be, once again, more people who embrace you than more people that have a disdain for you. And once again, that disdain is really projection. They are really angry at themselves because they couldn't necessarily make this move, or at least didn't have the courage to do so. Pile number 3. Beautiful. Beautiful. I feel a lot of you guys do have innate physical beauty, like you're like what you were born with, I guess. But you'll begin to understand that true beauty comes from the inside, in your own perspective. That's true beauty. And that's the Empress type of energy. Pile number 3, I thank you. Top tier. Top tier beauty. I thank you for joining me. I really enjoyed this reading. And I hope you did too. So if you feel so inclined, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. But other than that, I will catch you guys next time. What is up? Pile number 4. This is for those who picked the clear quartz crystal. We're about to find out what about you is top tier. The cards that they gave us are the Death card. Oh, I love that. I love that depiction. We also have 7 of Cups in reverse. We also have the 4 of Wands in reverse. We also have the 4 of Cups. We have the Wind Fairy. We also have the Hawk Prince. We have Angel of Love in reverse. Number 27, Hope. We have the Chalice. And this card that we'll get into later. So, before we begin, the numbers that they really wanted to bring out to you, and I don't do this at all, but sometimes I'll mention the numbers, but they really want to give out the numbers that are significant for you, at least at the very moment, are 9, 11, 13. 9, 11, 13. 9, 11, 13. 9, 11, 13. 9, 11, 13. Pile number 4. They really want to, this reading is going to be really focused on you and the connections you make. That's the point of reference that they're getting as to why you're top tier. And it really has to do with your impact. This is the type of top tier impact in which, like, even when let's just say you break up with somebody or your relationship ends, it's like you left your mark. Like, that person will has forever changed because of you. You know what I mean? Like, even former friends that you've had, they still remember you. They still reference you, especially when it comes to maybe examples of what friends that they want to bring into their life. You know what I mean? Like, it doesn't matter. It's like once you enter in their life, it's forever changed. You've left something with them, whether it's your presence, whether it's the memories, whether it's your energy, something. think you do have the ability to make some sort of impression, and it'll be a lasting impression with anyone that you meet. But it's positive. It's absolutely positive. They're showing me the Ace of Cups. So it's really referring to, in the realms of love as well. And just really deep emotional connections that you have. You definitely have the ability to make a lasting impression, and even if you are not speaking to that person anymore for whatever reason, your mark, your impact, your influence still governs a part of their life. It would even be the catalyst. Your presence or your encounter or your friendship or your relationship will be the catalyst to a new life of theirs. Like, for example, before meeting you, their life was going this way. Then all of a sudden, when you meet you, now it's going this way. That type of impact. I think every ex of yours can admit that they are a better person because of you. I think every friend can admit that they are a better person because of you. And at the very least, there's the memories. I don't know why I keep speaking about it in the past tense, because I feel like you need to acknowledge that even if you're not talking to someone, even if you're not friends with someone, you've done your part. You've done more than your share, and you've really changed people's lives more than you know. Let's begin. Death card. So we're referring to transformative energy. This is Pluto energy, meaning intense, deep. They're talking about your love for them, though. That's what they're talking about. I think for you, you may have a lot of love to give, or you may have a lot of emotions that you do relay to people, and I think it's appreciated and something that they often refer back to, whether it's in their memories or just, in normal day-to-day thinking. But this is absolutely you changing people's lives some way, and I think it's the love that you give. It's the love that you give. I get unconditional love. I get the type of love in which come as you are. Like, I don't judge you. Accepting. Especially for those who feel misunderstood as well. But yes, the Death card once again, before they met you, their life was one way. And then when you came in, their life began anew somehow. And I think oftentimes you don't necessarily really realize it, especially with relationships or connections from the past. But this is something that Spirit really wants to emphasize and highlight to you. your importance. It could be even as simple as, you know, you see someone who's in need of money or whatever the case may be, and you're the type of person who just so happens to have the dollar. For you, it's insignificant, but for them, it's everything. And you help them out. The next card that we have is Seven of Cups in reverse. This is funny because I'm also getting, they really want me to take it this route to a certain route, and I'm going to take it there because I guess this message is for somebody that you know or somebody that you once knew. It's like there will never be another me in reference to relationships. Like relationships that's ended, that's what they're saying. That's the model. That's the thing. There will never be another me. Remember that. Know that. There will never be anyone who's loved me as much as I loved you. Or, you know, there will never be anyone who had your back as much as I had your back. You know, like that. When it comes to connections, especially when it comes to love relationships, that's what they're really referring to. There could be the time in which you were in love with someone, or you were in a relationship with someone, and they definitely took you for granted. And it took them a while to see it, or maybe it took them you having to leave. You know, people don't know what they got until it's gone. Janet Jackson said it best. But that's pretty much the theme here. The Seven of Cups is also speaking about, I feel like even in the sea of people, you stand out. You stand out. And I keep getting, even in there, and I don't like talking about exes because I'm usually someone who really likes to promote, like, once you're an ex, like, we're not exploring the past like that. Like, we're about moving forward on this channel, which is why you don't see ex talk or an ex like, oh, what does my ex think about me type of pick a card reading. You'll never see that from me. But sometimes it will come in messages throughout my normal readings. But I get that amongst people's exes, you're still the one that they think about. You're still the one that it's like the one that got away. But once again, it has to do with your loving nature. It has to do with your loving nature. You have a beautiful vulnerability, a beautiful emotional state that sometimes, people can take advantage of, or people can try to manipulate in some ways, but they learn the hard way that you're doing yourself a disservice when you do that. But for those of the people that you meet and come in contact with that actually appreciate that and know how to reciprocate it, those are the ones that benefit the most and truly appreciate you. But once again, we're talking about life-changing impact by the way that you love, by the way that you even view relationships or view connections. Maybe you have a very high-tint, elevated way of viewing relationships. Like, I almost feel like with you view every connection as important. I feel like even if you're in a relationship, you're someone who still finds friendships to be important, to hold great weight. Because oftentimes people would get into a relationship and just forget about their friends completely. Now, granted, it's normal for relationships to take some type of priority or to be prioritized in some way. But it's not normal, even though people try to normalize it. It's not normal when you get into a relationship and you just completely and totally forget your friends even exist and only come back to them when maybe the relationship ends, right? But with you, it's, once again, there's a lasting impression or impact that you have on others that can never be forgotten. And it's in the way that you love. And it's the way that you appreciate connections and bonds. Four of Wands in reverse. I get the sense that you're going to probably experience a lot of just people who don't know what they got. Or maybe you have already experienced this, like people who just don't know what's in front of them. Like, do you not know all of what I have to offer? Like, it's obvious, and yet people take you for granted. But I also get that with you, there is a certain level of maturity that you possess. I get the sense that you, when it comes to like relationships, you don't necessarily feel the need to really engage in a relationship that you don't necessarily feel it's absolute worthy of your time or your love. I get someone who's quite picky with who they choose to give their love, as you should be. Because once again, you have a very elevated view of what you have to offer when it comes to relationships and when it comes to connections. You have a lot to offer. And I think the real ones know. And everyone will know, actually. Some people will know sooner rather than later. Let's get into this. We also have the Four of Cups. This is like, well, the cards literally says discontent born. This is people's life before you come into them. And once again, I don't want to make it seem like everyone, like, I don't want to make it seem like nothing, like everyone's life is great until you step into the room. You know what I mean? I don't want to make it seem like that. But this is how they're making me feel. Once again, it's an improved way, it's an improved life. Like, their life is automatically improved when you step into it. They're showing me the Ace of Pentacles, so there's going to be some obvious, tangible, or just very obvious results of your impact. Like, for example, you know, what's a good example? Because they keep getting me celebrities during this reading. But let me just use a generic example. Like, for example, if you're like someone who's very fashionable and you're the type of partner who, it's not to say you don't like how your partner dressed, but you're someone who's like to, you know, maybe wear this, maybe try this. And because of you, they now actually can dress. And now they wear different types of clothes that actually looks good on them versus the normal sweats that they usually wear. It's not to say that they can't look good in sweats, but the point is, you've upgraded them in a sense. And secretly, they owe all those improvements or all those upgrades to you, whether they know it or not, if that makes sense. It's not to say that these people do not have, you know, a great life on their own. That's not what I'm saying, but you do add something to their life that's undeniable. And I just used the example of the clothing situation, but I just feel like just your acts of love, really, whatever ways that it may come through as. Everyone feels, with the Ace of Pentacles that they're showing me, everyone feels that you are someone who kind of upgraded the very foundation of who they are. When you entered their life, it was a new beginning, a new stable beginning in some way, shape, or form. Let's get into the next card. The card that we have next is the Wind Fairy. I'm also sensing with you, you kind of know what to say. I think you have a way with words. I think you also have a very keen knowing as to what people want, what people, maybe it's telepathic, but it's really, I get the sense that you kind of can tell what it is that people, I think you have great discernment. And they're actually saying it's psychic. It's a psychic gift of yours. But maybe part of why you're so impactful is because there's a part of you that innately knows what about them is missing. What about their life is missing? What could take them to the next level? And I think you're doing it out of love, though. You're doing it out of love. And sometimes you could maybe even literally say, okay, maybe you need to change it like this. Maybe you can do this, or maybe you can, try, learning this way, or try being this way, or try. It's really coming from a place of love, but it's something that's well received, whether it's sooner or later. But it's because you kind of are receiving some type of information that maybe you feel like it's a hunch. You may feel like it's just, just your own expertise, and maybe you're a stylist, I don't know, or maybe you're just a psychologist of some sort, but I do think you have a way of knowing what it is that people want and what it is that people are missing, what it is people that look for. We also have the Hawk Prince. Spiritual communication is what they're bringing my attention to. There is some type of psychic ability here. Only because they're making me feel like it's almost supernatural how you always know what it is that you can offer to people in some way, shape, or form, and it's just your very way of who you are. I think you're someone who's quite generous, and I think you're someone who knows what they're bringing. And I think even if you come across different type of personalities, you know how to incorporate certain aspects of who you are in order to really complement them as well. You're gonna always know. I don't see a lot of people disliking you. And I do see that, for me, I see a relationship. I'm sorry. I don't know. I'm sure if you guys want to hear this, but I see a relationship that's coming through. I also feel like for a lot of you guys, there was a relationship in the past, or just a connection in the past, whether it was platonic or romantic, in which it didn't end. Amicably, or it maybe just ended in general, but you may still have access to their Instagram or social media, and you see your impact. You see your impact with them, maybe in how they dress, or maybe what restaurants they now eat at, or what music they listen to. You see your impact. Okay? It's obvious. But I also see a relationship that's coming through. That I believe it will be your match. I don't think you've met your match yet. And I think that is referring to friendships as well. I don't think you met your match yet. But there is going to be someone who is going to be your match. This is also someone who will really be good at, I'm also getting like a publicist, like any job that has to do with making things known or putting things into the public eye, because you'll have a good idea of what it is that the consumer wants. Angel love in reverse. This is, I feel like for a lot of you guys, once again, this is referring to that no matter how the relationship ends, no matter how the connection ends, your impact is undeniable. Your mark is undeniable. The reason, like the purpose as to why they crashed into you or why you met them will be obvious by the end of it. You know what I mean? And once again, I don't feel like you've met your match yet when it comes to the realms of love. Which is why I'm kind of, I want to see who this person is, because I do feel like they want to speak. Who's this person coming through about love? They're mum's the word, Spirit said. They're like, meaning this person, you don't know this person, you don't, like, it's not something that's supposed to be really talked about at this very moment. So we did get some information though. We got the Chariot in reverse. This person that's coming through, once again, it's a very significant connection. This is going to be a higher level soulmate. This person is your, I guess people like to say other half. This is your other half. I think how they look is completely different. Like, you guys have different backgrounds, different everything, but in essence, you guys are the same person, essentially. You're the same but different, like that. I think you guys could be separated by distance, or maybe like there could be a situation where you guys are abroad from each other, but you guys are absolutely not connected at the very moment. This next relationship, I feel. Sun card and the King of Wands. This is him, or this is them. Big Leo energy. These two cards are Leo cards. This person is going to make you absolutely happy. You've never been happy ever as much as you've been with this person. Charismatic, sexy even, funny, charming, confident, there's a magical element with this person. I think this person also has that gift that you have, kind of knowing what people want. This person knows your desires. But they absolutely have that same ability that you have. I have to tell you this though, they will mirror you in every way, in a lot of ways actually, and that could be a little bit triggering, but it's meant for growth. But they said, Kenny, shut your mouth. But basically this is something that has yet to be unwrapped. It has yet to be unveiled to you. But you know it's coming. Your match is coming. I digress. The next card we have is number 27. This is hope. It's like another part of your impact that you have is that it does seem like you're a beacon of light for people. And this could be by way of you saying things or encouraging them, but it could be just in the way that you live life as well. But inspiration is what you give people as well. I really feel like you have a future when it comes to your career to be somewhat of an influencer or just help influence the culture in some way, shape, or form. This doesn't have to be like, you know, you're the common idea of influencer. It could really be like in a formal sense, like a publicist or a career in marketing. That's something that you'll be successful at. But overall, there's you inspire people to take a certain direction or to be a certain person or to really even instill some type of faith or belief within them that will help them on their journey as well. Got the chalice. This reminds me of the Ace of Cups as well, but the card says rejuvenation and fulfillment. I know they say that we are, as individuals, we're complete. But with you, there is, people feel more of a sense of being whole. The part that was missing, you either provide or you embody. You know what I mean? The part that they feel was missing in their life or in who they are, you provide or you embody. And that's incredible. Once again, the emphasis of the love that you give is something that Spirit really wants to commend you for. I see unconditional and also like fully accepting people for who they are, not for what they could become. And once again, there is going to be somebody. I'm sorry, Spirit, I have to let that. They want me to be quiet about it, but it's like this person's here, so it's like, what am I supposed to do? But there is someone who's going to be your match in that sense as well. And you deserve. Yeah, the last card that we have. I love this card. It's Rooster, an arrogant, boastful person you should not cross. I love this card. I don't know why. Because why Rooster? One thing that we have to also make clear is that, not much so the arrogant part, but you really are not one to, children, cover your ears. You really are not the one to fuck with when it comes to just in general. Don't take my kindness for weakness. Don't take me for granted. It'll be your worst mistake. Like that type of energy. Spirit is commending you that they're doing this. So you have the balance, the duality. You're very sweet. You're very giving. You're very generous. You're very loving. But you're not a doormat. And you're also someone who has great discernment in knowing when to leave a certain situation, when you feel like you're not appreciated or someone's taking you for granted or someone's disrespecting you. Yes. We love to see it. We love to hear it. And I think that duality in itself is also impactful. Pile number 4, incredible reading. Incredible reading. I hope you guys didn't mind me checking into your love life. It was just, I couldn't help. I could not. I would be remiss if I ended this reading without checking what that was, because it kept being loud, this person. So I had to see what that is. So I hope you didn't mind that. But overall, this reading is still about you. And it may be a little bit burdensome to realize the type of weight your impact holds, even just a mere encounter. But embrace it. And I don't get the sense that there's really any cockiness or any other inverted way of being from your end. So absolutely continue to share this love with people, while also having that discernment that you have and knowing that not everyone deserves it, but you're still open to give it. One of my favorites, absolutely. Pile number 4, thank you so much for joining me. If you feel so inclined, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. And yeah, I'll catch you guys next time.